So the next song we're going to do is called the Frog Song. It's Vicky and Tully Kruger's wedding song. And we ask Grand Round, Chehalis, Chinook, and Polly if they could please come forward and sing this song with us. Polly McCarty. And anyone else who wants to come and sing and dance this song.
Look at them, they're just as beautiful as on their wedding day, Siam. What a handsome, beautiful couple, still smiling, so much in love. Oh my.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby! Woo! Show! One up. We want to fill the floors, so all you young newlyweds, been married 30, 40, 50 years, we ask you to come out. For all those ones that hold up 2 fingers, I hope your other half is here. These guys here want to know where them ones that hold 1 finger up are. Mona Caillou, your husband's up here looking for you to dance. Mona Caillou, your husband, 20 years, he wants to renew his vows out here and dance with you around this circle. Don't leave my brother hanging. Oh my, he says, there she is. All Siam relatives, we could have a moment of silence here as our dancers are taking the floor. We had another relative pass away. We want a moment of silence and prayers. My partner here that we share the floor together, his mate expecting a child, has lost a relative back at Port Renford, so we could send some prayers that way, Siam. You know, as we come here as responsible adults to come to Canoe Journey, we pray at home that our families are going to be left and be in better shape than we go home. But, you know, my relatives, with some of our ones leaving us, our ancestors are here. They're grieving on that side, and we're the ones that are grieving today as humans. You know, we'll sing a prayer song. Sing a little prayer song for all those ones. As we're lining up our dancers, I'm going to sing a Tuaduk prayer song from Skokomish. We all siam nas chausa siam siaya, hayat sap squalin siam. We pray today for all our relatives that are making their journey this year. For all the heartaches we carry, may we uplift them a little bit with our prayers today, Creator. May we be able to help dry some of the tears. And we as human beings are the ones that are suffering yet today. And we know our ancestors are taking it, our relatives taking them home. They have no more pains and no more grievances, no more tears, yeah. And all those ones in the hospitals, we pray today that they come home to their families, and that when we make our way home after this beautiful day, that we find our families in better health and prayers that we left them because they were suffering. And we come to this great canoe journey to add our prayers to one another's for our relatives all over this Turtle Islands. Yeah. Hi, Oshia.
As my brother mentioned, this is our frog song. My husband and I got married 17 years ago when we brought this out at our wedding potlatch. We put this song on the floor for anybody to sing. We're grateful for Grand Ron, Chinook, and Chehalis people for picking it up. And we would truly love it if it went back home with y'all from Canada.
Oshia. Shuk. Oh, look at all that young love on the floor, CM. You know, my relatives, what a sight it is to see all of our young couples. Mama Bear, I see you right there with your beautiful young man there. He's looking all lost over there. You know, my relatives, this love we talk about for one another is more than just what people think on the outside of this world. It's about loving ourselves, about how we can love ourselves, and then we can help our own community. Well, CM, again, my relatives, we want to thank our elders that are here from Squaxin Island, our elders from all over. That today is for our elders and our children and for our ancestors that we've had in our lives. Oh, CM, Yakwala, Yakwala. Eagle dance, yeah.
Okay, this next one's had a lot of different incarnations. It started off as kind of a paddle song, and then shortly after that, it became an eagle song with a slightly different dance. And then the Squaxins were one of the last people to leave shore one time on journey. And they saw this eagle come diving out of the sky and hit the water, and he came up with a big old salmon, and the salmon was too big, he couldn't take off from the water, so he tried a couple of times to take off from the water, and then after that he just swam through the water using his wings. I didn't see it, but this is what I was told. He swam all the way to the shore, ate his fill, and then took off again. So the pullers and the support people that were on the canoe have the right to sing this. They can use this song anytime they want, because that's what this final incarnation of this song finally became.
All CM relatives, young relative Kevin Killstrom here would like to present his first drum to his grandma, Mary Lika. Go ahead, Siam, take it over there. Hi, Sap. Shuk. Wana.
Hey.
OCM, CIA. My relatives, as our day is getting longer and warmer, we have 2 relatives here in Squaxin Island we want to take care of. We have our 2 oldest Squaxin Island enrolled tribal members that we want to maybe not necessarily wrap in the blanket right now, but we want to offer them our love and give them a blanket for their being here today. We can get our head of our senior department to come out here. Oh, yeah. Where's she at? Come on, this way. This way. Let her explain a little bit about our elders and a few things here. Oh, yeah.
Good afternoon, everybody. And thank you. Thank you very much for remaining here with us until this very last day. You do us great honor by being here. Thank you. My name is Elizabeth Heredia. I am the daughter raised by Miguel Heredia Verduzco and Maria Guadalupe Rodriguez. I was brought to this earth by Emma Jean Pickernell. I honor you, Emma Jean. And daughter of Hazel Bagley, one of the first families here on Squaxin Island. I was raised as an only child. Culture was very, very much a part of my life. It was a different culture, but still, I have learned the value of learning your culture, the traditions of your family and your elders. I was sought and brought to my Squaxin Island family and was received and healed of heart and spirit, and I am now part of the Squaxin community. I came here to find out that I was the eldest of 7 after being raised as an only child. Love you, sisters and brothers. And I have been blessed and honored to be chosen by our Squaxin Island elders to be their voice, their advocate, and to fight for our elders' rights. And I take this honor very seriously. Thank you to our elders for all that you have done for us, for all of your teachings, for teaching us especially the respect, because respect is almost a forgotten value in this world. But in the culture I was brought in, and in my native culture, I am finding it is a value that's worth even more than gold. Thank you. In Squaxin Island Elders, Inc., I am the voice of about 156 Squaxin Island elders, and I am proud to be here. And we are here to honor our 2 eldest elders. Let me tell you a little bit about the first one. His name is Harry Fletcher. Harry Fletcher is Squaxin Island's oldest tribal member at this time. Thank you. Everybody stand. Harry will be 91 years young this September. Harry was born to Myrtle Whitener Fletcher, and she was the second-born child to Annie Christ Whitener. Back in the early 60s, Harry was on tribal council. That was before we had a tribal center, and they would take turns meeting in their homes. Harry always felt that Florence Seigel was a mother of our tribe. She was one of the main people to get us up and running. The council at that time, during his reign, purchased a Camilchi school, which was the very first Squaxin Island Tribal Center. And that was located where the casino and KTP are at now. We, the Squaxin Island tribe, have come a long way in the last 50 years, and today it is our honor to wrap Harry, and for that we have our officers, Herb Johns and Dorinda, our Vice Chairperson and Secretary of Elders, Inc. Thank you from Harry, and thank you all. And now we have Mr. William Peters. Mr. Peters is a God-fearing man. He is a Native American Indian, and he is mighty proud to be a Squaxin Island tribal member. Bill Peters is Quinault, and he is Squaxin. He is from the Bagley clan and the Peters clan, and at this time, he is 89 years young. Bill was born in 1923, and he is the eldest son of Jameson and Josephine Peters. He actually lived on the Squaxin Island for several years with his grandfather, Bill Bagley, when he was 4 or 5 years old. When he started school, he lived at and attended the St. George Indian School for Boys near Seattle. Sister Neri taught the boys, took care of them, and fed them a sandwich after taking their naps every day. Bill attended the 5th through 8th grade at Griffin School and lived with his parents on the family property on Mud Bay in Olympia, near Perry Creek. He worked with his father after school every day culling oysters. In the 9th grade, he left Olympia High School to help his father with the oyster business full time. They worked 7 days a week, all day, every day. He helped with the family business until he joined the Air Force shortly after Pearl Harbor was attacked at the beginning of World War II. Bill served in the 40th Bomber Group of the U.S. Army Air Force as an aircraft tail gunner and saw combat action in the European theater in 1944. His group was stationed in England, and his assignment was to provide dual machine gun anti-aircraft cover for the 32 distinct bombing missions over Europe. So don't mess with Bill. That duty included 3 missions over Belgium, 10 missions over France, 18 missions over Germany, and 1 special secret mission into France, which involved combat personnel. On D-Day, they flew on 3 separate missions over France. For Bill's 21st birthday, they bombed Munich 3 days in a row. Bill served our country proudly, was decorated 4 times, and received a special citation from Brigadier General A.W. Kisner for extraordinary achievement while serving as a courageous combat tail gunner who repelled numerous hostile fighter attacks by his excellent marksmanship. After the war, Bill returned to the Northwest and married the girl he promised to come home to before the war, his wife Louise. They had 9 children, 19 grandchildren, and 23 great-grandchildren. Bill worked for the Squaxin tribe as a caretaker for the original Squaxin Island Longhouse that was in use on the Squaxin Island back in the 1970s. And 5 of his children, 13 of his grandchildren, and 2 of his great-grandchildren have also worked for Squaxin Island tribe. Bill was also a fisherman for 20 years, and he never missed one day on the water during those 20 years of fishing. He owned both a bow picker and a beach seine boat. He has fished with 15 different family members and didn't stop until he was 80 years old. He has caught as many as 900 fish in a day and as few as 1. He never had a day he caught nothing, and he caught the 273 in 1 seine one day. Amazingly, in all that time, Bill fell into the water 1 time. And he claims he didn't get wet. Please let us all stand and salute Bill as he is wrapped by a blanket. Thank you very much. And that is all that Squaxin Island Elders Inc. wanted to do this afternoon. Again, we thank you all, and it does my heart great to see everyone out here, to see all the young people dancing with their mothers, aunties, sisters, and thank you all for honoring and respecting our elders, the elder spouses, and every one of us as natives, no matter what color or what height. Thank you. Have a good day.
Awesome again for all our elders all throughout our Turtle Island, our guests and relatives here. There is an elder service room over here, their lunchroom. There is video feed there. If you want to take your elders over there where it's cooler. But we ask people younger than me, 50 and under, that we let our elders go there. Again, if you have any elders that are having hard times here, we can get a shuttle over here for them to take them to our elders building. And there is live video feed, and hello to the live video feed, everybody. If we could all take our little makeshift fans and fan to the left, fan to the right. Oh, that felt much better. On to our next song. I have my sister here explain a little bit about it.
The next dance that we're going to do was a gift from the Whitener family to the Peters family. When our relative Roger Peters earned his doctorate, we had a potlatch for him. And all of you pullers and all you fishermen know the black duck Jojquas. It's the one that takes off running to start flying before it flies across the water. And you'll see part of the song where the girls wash off their tail feathers. Thank you.
Awesome. Shook.
I'll say sask, George Guas Gulasak, Osak, T.E. George Guas. I'll
Asiam again, my relatives. Do all of you have enough kos? Everybody get enough water? If our young people can help some of our elders out and maybe go grab a handful of water, we can pass them out there. We have a lot of volunteers here, but we have a lot of relatives we want to take care of here. You know, we have water stations here. If you can send maybe one young person sit by you to get 4 or 5 waters. Arnold, where you at? Are you in here? Awesome. Well, we have a little moment on the floor. I want to ask Arnold to come forward. You know, it's, well, we have this moment on the floor, and our ladies get hydrated themselves. They've been on the floor a lot. My young relative here wants to cover his father. Let's get these bottles out of here.
Leave the plate because I'm eating.
Also, yeah, my relatives. Again, my relatives, we want to thank you for the healing prayers, as you just seen, from a son to a father. We've had a loss in our family here that they're healing from yet, but they're still here participating. And as again, our ladies are getting hydrated, asking our drummers, so.
So we're going to give our dancers a little bit of time to rehydrate and rest for a second. We're going to do a song that was composed by Aswali, Zalmai Zahir. The words say that this language comes from right here on this land. auntie Disha, take all shoot, say what is what dead.
Don't step on that water this time, guys.
In case I didn't mention it, my name is Vicki Penn Kruger. My mother comes from here, from Squaxin Island. My father was Big Bill Penn from the Quileute people. My grandfather was Stanley Gray from the Quileute people. I have grandparents that come. My grandfather comes from the Saigo family from Suquamish, and my other grandmother comes from here. My dad's first wife came from Macau, and we have many, many relatives at Macau. Then this next dance that we're going to do, my sister and I traveled to Nia Bay, and we picked up our young nephew, Bradley Ward, from the Green family. And we brought him back to Squaxin Island, and we understood it was the first time that he had left his village and spent the night away from his family. And so we made this song about our travels and about our relatives and how much we love them. The words to this song, Saya, Saya, Haktabitsicchus, how much we love all of our relatives everywhere. They're spread out across the land. And if we have anybody from our relatives, from Bradley's family, we would appreciate it if you joined us for this dance. Thank you.
Quiet, please.
Ochada.
Uchida,
Oh, see, my relatives, this song is also called Huggin' Auntie. When you see him go like this, it's kind of like hugging Auntie here. This song, you know, our young ladies love this song so much. Some of our young drummers, we used to like to say, we're going to rename our drum group to Achada. You know, it's a beautiful song, and my relatives, as we're moving along in our program here, you know, our museum has been a great supporter of our families, acquiring our ancestral artifacts from not just our island, but from where your canoes landed in our sacred waters there where we came in Olympia. When the Nisqually earthquake happened, it ruptured the ground and they lost the bridge, and we were able to go through there and study the archives of what was there in that water. But also we have a great collection of baskets that come to our museum, that today we're going to honor those baskets that come here. If I can find Queeth Leppy, Charlene Christ, come explain a little bit about how these baskets come our way. I know she must be back there watching them over them, because some of these baskets are 200 years old or older. And again, my relatives, it's through our ancestors that we're still here. We see some of the pictures of some of these baskets. They're still in such phenomenal shape. That today, during this next song, we're going to be honoring those baskets. But again, waiting for Charlene Christ. You know, my relatives, again, we have these beautiful baskets that come to our museum. We have one right here. They are going to be on display. But today we're going to bring them out here, and again, these baskets, some of them are 200 years old and still in just as good working condition as they were when they were made. I want to give my cousin here an opportunity, Quitlape, to explain about where they came from and how we are charged with the responsibility of them today.
The basket collection that Squaxin received came from Maso Bridges and Allison Godfreyson. Maso Bridges and Allison Godfreyson are very important to all of us as Native people. They are from the Frank family, the Billy Frank Landon, the Frank's Landon site. During the early 60s, it was very difficult for our Native people to exercise their reserved ways of life, to fish, hunt. In the 1960s, there was a lot of turmoil, a lot of struggle with Native Americans here in Washington State. We have a tribal leader named Billy Frank who struggled so hard to make sure that our rights were secured. And the family, along with Billy Frank and Al Bridges and numerous others, forgive me for not mentioning them all, struggled for us. They put their lives on the line. They put their goods, their trucks, their boats, their nets, so that we could have the right as Native people to fish. During that struggle, the family became very well acquainted with many, many people and received support from other natives from other states that came to Nisqually River to help uphold that attention to be given to these reserved rights. Tribal people in Washington State, we gave thousands and thousands of pristine land to the federal government in exchange for that right to fish, hunt, and gather in our usual and accustomed areas. Very sacred for us as Native people to be able to secure those rights to exist as an indigenous people, to be able to touch the waters that are so sacred to us. Maisel and Allison, throughout the years, were gifted many baskets, and they cherished all these beautiful baskets. They came from many kayas. Maisel said that some of the baskets that were donated to the museum are over 200 years, over 200 years. If you take a look at the baskets from the past, you will see in there a lot of Native American science. It takes know-how, how to gather. It takes knowledge at certain times of the season to go gather, to process the fibers. It's Native science. It's an understanding very important to our people. If you look at the baskets, you can see there's mathematical equations in there. Really take a look at some of the kayas and sapas baskets. There's a lot of geometry. And if you look at the designs, they're complicated. They're not easy to do. Very important for us as Native people to pay respect to our baskets, but also the knowledge that the baskets represent. In our society, our baskets brought a lot to our people. It brought food, but it also brought people together. Our people would cook in baskets. Certain rocks would be gathered. These rocks were cherished. They were brought to the fire. Many of them were placed in the baskets, and we would have our different foods cooked in baskets. Today, we wanted to share with you the basket dance as Canoe water people, because many of these baskets are made from cedar. Some of them come from the marshlands. Some of them are of bear grass. Very important to us as water people. And today, we hope that you enjoy looking at these baskets. We also were asking if the Anton George, Patrick George, if you're here, if you could join us, please, on the floor. When we started discussing about honoring the baskets, one of the kayas asked if we could ask the family for the song to be sung. And I'm going to ask Anton and Patrick if they could please explain the song, because it has to do with the grandmothers.
O siamana siaya, siamna stauno, say Lambton, Sinisnat. The song that was requested by our family was brought to life back in 2006 when we got ready to paddle to Muckleshoot. We as a family, we only had a handful of songs. 12 songs that started us off as a Canoe family. songs. That was from myself, my brother Pat, our nephew Anthony Jefferson, brother Johnny Bob, and another brother Tavis Washington. Those were the 12 songs that started us off on tribal journeys. And since that time, a lot of songs have come, and a lot of songs we have shared. And this song that we're going to sing is one of those first 12 that we started with, and it's a grandmother song in honor of the elder lady that donated these baskets towards the museum and the cause. OCM.
Just want to give thanks to the Squaxin tribe, the council, the elders that are here. You know, it's refreshing to come out and see these feathers on the floor today. You know, and made a spiritual world for our tribe here, our host tribe. You know, we do this a lot in our longhouses that we own. And I'm happy to be here and thanking Squaxin for the generosity and the things that they've done for all of us at Tribal Journeys. You know, to be able to be here and share these good times and see our old friends and see the different families that travel. We're thanking, our hands go up to Squaxin, thanking the council, thanking our cousin and the Canoe families. Aho!
Another thing I wanted to mention that Ray, Charlene, George, they are blood relatives of ours. And we put our hands up to each and every one that's here, and calling all past and present West Shore Canoe family to come up. Also other brothers that also know this song too as well. Bobby Mercer, Grand Round, James Old Coyote and the family, Sacred Water, and all the way down, you know, come and share this song with our family up here. These are our family. So with that, I say aho.
CM, CIA. Again, my relatives, what a blessing it is to have these baskets come to our museum to show the wealth of our ancestors, that it is still here. As basket makers, we know the time and the efforts it's put into making that beautiful basket. You know, I had an uncle once tell me, when you're gathering, if you're gathering cedar and you're not praying, it's not a medicine. And sometimes we have young people making baskets. They never gathered cedar before in their life, and that basket don't last long. We can tell that is true because that elder that told me that their baskets are still here, and that's my late father, Subiai. You know, we see these magnificent baskets that were made many, many generations ago. And that they are still here and alive, their breath, their footprint is still here on earth, the creators of these baskets. We love them so much. I have guards on the outskirts here. You know, that's just to protect the baskets. Maybe not just from the humans, but you know, sometimes those spirits, they might want to take them back with them. And, you know, we love and honor each and every one of you. That we have our guards out there to, if anything happens, get a hold of one of them, or if one of our ladies is struggling, they're there to protect them in the baskets. Yeah, if we could have this drum circle get closer here. We still need to get our dancers by so we can pull them closer to the center there on your singers and dancers there. so we can get by. This means right here, cousin, can you help me move our relatives in? Right here, we still need to have our dancers get by. Shoot, Juana. become very old and fragile, and that's why we have our guards here. You know, all right? Just letting you know. Makes your family, very, very fragile. Go ahead. Want to thank our relatives that come down and helped us sing this song, and want to thank my cousin Antone for fulfilling our auntie's. That was in her vision when she was giving these baskets to our museum to Queeflepi, that she had that vision of this song. She said, I didn't even know where it come from. But it touched her that she heard the song and heard the melody, and she sang it the best she could, and we all kind of, that sounds like the grandmother's prayer song. And again, we want to thank you for fulfilling that, our ancestor now, that, you know, her memory will live on forever in this basket collection. And, you know, what a beautiful sight that was to come on our floor from our ancestors. And that's the hope and prayers of all of us as teachers and students of our ancestors, is that their prayers will live on, their work styles will live on, and not just in our basketry, our canoes, our singing voices and composing songs. You know, we can hear similarities in our songs because we are Siaya. My relatives here are on our Hilaire side of our family. On the other side, the Davy, George, and the Christ family, it's through the George side of their family. They're first cousins. You know, again, both sides of our family are related. You know, we always say that only in Indian country, you know, our relatives, our family trees grow wide, grow long, and then they come back together to keep our hereditary rights. These baskets are hereditary rights of our ancestors, and for our youth today to learn. You know, they have to come from it to really pick up that gift, and we see those ones that come from it. You know, we as students, if we learn everything we need to know from our ancestors, we wouldn't need each other. That's why gifts were given by Creator. That's why one of the best gifts you see here, it's not their only gifts, it's one that really excels in their songs. You know, that's a beautiful thing, and we need each other today. And I'm thankful for my cousins to be here to help us with this, because we stand as one family under this great longhouse here, each and every one of you. Siam, my relatives, you know, we're blessed with many great things that's happened here in our village, our seven sacred inlets. You know, we had our great-great-grandfather, Squaxin, his wife. We have, we're direct descendants of John Slocum here in our village. His name is still carried in our village here. Up where you're camped is his final resting ground. Moved from where he was in a Shelton. Now we take care of him out here. Just over the ridge is Slocum Ridge, where old Slocum lived. You know, if those of you don't know who Squaxin is, he's the founder of the 1910 Indian Shaker Church. Him and his wife had that vision way before 1910. Before the treaties were signed, they seen our relatives were being killed for doing what we're doing right here. We heard our relatives say, this is the biggest illegal gathering. But you know, we stand up as human beings and fight for our rights, and that was one of the biggest rights, was to practice our way of praying. And we thank John Slocum for that, and Mary Slocum, for that vision that has gone down the California coast up to Canada, BC, and inland. You know, a way to pray. You know, they still use that old tongue in that church, praying the way they spoke back then. You know, we're very thankful for all of our Shaker relatives that we have here from many different tribes, that way of life is still just as alive as when it was recognized in 1910 and the vision before that. We have many stories of that time in our life. And we had a relative. He was Squaxin George. And Squaxin George left a big footprint on this land, left big prayers on this land. Squaxin George, Tai Charlie, Mud Bay Sam. All of our old ones left some really good teachings on this land for us. The Squaxin George song was brought back by Henry Allen, kept alive through the Skokomish people, Bruce Miller. You know, brought it back to Squaxin Island here, to my cousin Davy George Christ, Squaxin. He has the rights to sing this song. Even us as Skokomish people, when we want to use this song and he's there, we have to acknowledge him. We acknowledge him even if he's not there with us, that this song belongs to Davy George Christ, myself, the Chehalis people of the First Peoples Drum Group. It's sang in the Chehalis dialect, and it's calling across that prairie. Because if you really look at it, Chehalis could go around the ocean and get here, but they're just a stone's throw away by land. In this song, in these poles that you're going to see come out, that medicine's in that pole, and when it shakes, it calls that spirit here. And it comes across that prairie that we have family connections there to Chehalis. But again, my relatives, our old people left many stories with us. And if we could only remember half, that would be awesome. Who knows what it's going to be like when our children are in our spot? How many more songs and stories are going to come out on the floor through the work that you're all doing here? Raising your children in a good way. We know where they are today. We know they're under this great longhouse, receiving that teaching, receiving what they need to know to pass on to the next 7 generations. Very important that we carry our uncle's words, Emmett Oliver's words, into the future. That one of his grandchildren, when they reach that 98 years old, you know, will be able to pass on what happened in 2012. You know, my relatives, it's a beautiful day here. As our dancers and singers are watering up here, we are truly grateful for our elders we have. Truly grateful for our youth that we have in our community that are participating. And again, I want to thank my elders here from Squaxin Island that today we love and honor you as every day we do in our lives. Uncle, I love you so much down there. Shoot. Hoocha. Shoot.
Yakwachus, stand tall, Achan. Oh ho.
Pecha! Ladies! Siam, Squaxin, can you step forward over here? Chobalitum, can you come up here? Go ahead, you guys. Tell them to go back. Siam, my relatives, we started the First People's Drum Group in the 90s, and this is Squaxin, our creator of our canoe, David George Christ, Chobalitum, Walter, Lewis. We were the first ones to bring this song back to life, as I wanted to recognize both sides of our family, the Chehalis side and the Squaxin side. Just to do this in a good way, that we have other Chehalis relatives here that were on the First People's Drum Group going clear back till the Tawana Dancers. That relationship here. I just want to take that little bit of time to let you know that this is the one that is the carrier of the song. We as also descendants of this song, we keep this song in our family. So, yeah. Perry Denise James, your cell phone has been found and it's ringing right now. Hello? Hello? I guess they hung up on me trying to find it here. But Perry Denise James, let me see if I can do this without my contacts on. From Tacoma, Washington. This phone's been found. We'll have it up here if anybody knows. Perry Denise James. So if we know who she is, or if they want to call the phone again, they'll call it and I'll grab it to the mic again. But I want to turn this microphone back over to my relatives, Vicky and her brother, to come up here. Will? I don't know where Vicky went right now, but I want to explain our next songs here.
How are y'all doing? We appreciate you being here, sweating it out with us, sticking it out till the end, honoring the teachings of our ancestors. Thank you all. One of my elder in-laws told me that, you know, Indians, it seems like we're always in mourning. So we have to change up the way we do things traditionally. Because traditionally, a long time ago, we used to put away songs or we'd stop singing. But if we did that today, all of our songs would be passed away with the ones that we've been quiet for. So some things change along those lines, and some of those things that's because that's necessary to keep these songs alive. Because we're all big, we have big families in Indian country, and if we put songs away, then before the next year is over, someone else might pass away, so we have to put that song away again. But we can't do that anymore because in fear of losing those songs, because a lot of these songs we just recently got back to us. And one of our next songs that we're going to be doing is a family song, and we're getting ready to wrap it up here with a couple more songs. We're going to be doing a couple of Wolf songs. So during these two songs, we're going to request no pictures, no cameras, no recordings, please.